Ever since the tragedy in my family, I've been going around talking to people about life. People want to hear about emunah. How do you survive tragedies? But before you learn about emunah, you first have to know, what are you living for? What's the purpose of life? Because if you don't know what the purpose of life is, you don't know what you're supposed to do. Which direction you're supposed to go? What does Hashem want from you? First you have to know what Hashem wants from you. So you know what you're supposed to do when you have a challenge in life. So to live with emunah, you have to know, what am I living for? What does Hashem want from me? So if you look in the Torah, there's few reasons given for why Hashem created the world. And really all the different answers are the same thing from different angles. So today I want to focus on the answer that the Ramchal made famous. Hashem created the world for us to enjoy, for pleasure. Think about it. What are we supposed to do in this life if not to enjoy life? What else can we do? We're always going after what makes us feel good, what makes us happy. Sounds simple, right? But it's not so simple, because Hashem wanted us to be great. And to be great, we have to overcome challenges. So He gives us different kinds of pleasures to enjoy. Some pleasures are greater than others. You see, man is made from a body, and he also has a neshama. He has a soul. So the body has its pleasures, and the neshama has its pleasures, and they're different, and they don't go together. And actually they conflict and contradict. We could divide the number of pleasures that we have in life into 5, because the neshama has 5 parts. There's part called the nefesh, part called the ruach, neshama, chaya, yichida. Each part has a different way of enjoying the world. The nefesh is the lowest part of neshama. It's tied to the body. It makes the body move, makes the body think, and so it goes together. So there's 5 main parts. So I want to start with the lowest and go up to the highest. So first we'll explore in this class the lowest level pleasure, which is the bodily pleasures, the physical pleasures. We live in a physical world. We're in a physical body. And so there are physical pleasures. Like what? Eating good food, wearing nice clothes, living in a nice apartment, going swimming, enjoying the nature. All these things are physical pleasures. And they could get us close to Hashem. Like on Shabbat, when you enjoy good food and nice clothes, L'Shem Shamayim on Shabbat, it gets us close to Hashem. It even becomes a spiritual pleasure. We go for a walk with the nature. If we contemplate the beauty of nature, Hashem's works, it gets us close to Hashem. We see how beautiful the sunset is. It's transcendent. We could get in touch with Hashem. And those are, pleasures. But what happens most of the time? Most of the time, the physical pleasures actually take us away from Hashem. It cuts us off. So that it's called choshek, it's called darkness. Let me explain. The body, a person has a neshama. And the neshama has to grow to be happy. You have to grow to be happy. So if you look in the physical world and you want to grow in the physical world, what do? You said, you know what? I need to grow. Something is missing in my life. What do I need to do to fill that lack that I feel? I need to get, let's say, a car. I don't have a car. My friends all have cars. I don't have a car. If I get a car, that will make me happy. So what do? You work towards a car, you get the car. After you get the car, 2 or 3 days go by, you're not any happier. You say, you know what? It's not the car. I need something greater. I need something, a bigger toy to make me happy. Because the car, I acquired it, and I see what I'm feeling missing is much bigger than I realized. It must be something greater. So you work hard to get a bigger toy. And when you get the bigger toy, what happens? You say, oh my, I'm not happy anymore. After 3 or 4 days, you're the same person that you were. So you say, oh, my lack is even greater than I thought. My problem is much bigger than I thought. The more you have, the more you think you need. So the Talmud tells us, if you have 100, you want 200. If you have 200, you have 400. So the more you have, the bigger you think is your lack that you need to fulfill, and the more unhappy you become. Rich people who have everything in life, they're the most miserable if they don't have any spiritual pursuit, because they don't know what to do. What's life about? I have everything. I feel so empty. Because that's not what life is about. Because we have a spiritual component that has to be fulfilled. So if you just look in the physical world and the Western culture of materialism, consumerism, just buying, and you think that makes you happy, it doesn't make you happy. It's false. The body thinks it needs it, but it's not true. It only makes you happy temporarily. It's not a lifestyle. It's a never-ending chase. Not only that, if you think about it, the pleasures of the body, the physical pleasures, they're not really pleasures. They're more comforts. It's comfort for the body. Because real pleasure in life comes from work. When I explain the spiritual pleasure, you will see it only comes with toil and work and growing. Because to grow, you need to work. But the physical pleasures require no work. It's working on your senses. You watch a nice movie, it's no work. You're enjoying what you hear. You hear nice music, you taste good food, you get a massage, you go swimming, you feel the water on your skin. All these things are comfort. It's to make you comfortable. It's not real pleasure. It doesn't really make you happy. And so you ask me, what's wrong with being comfortable? Well, the problem is, if you're always looking to be comfortable and all of a sudden you become not comfortable, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Make yourself comfort, force the world to go your way? You can't. Because the physical world is not in your control. Hashem controls it. And if you realize the ultimate comfort is death. When you die, there's no work, there's no toil, there's no pain. Pure comfort is death. And that's what really the body wants. The body is made from the ground. And the ground, the Adamah, its nature is to sit, do nothing, and not to move. So it's the nature of the body to want to sit, not to move, just to take it easy. But that's really death. Not to grow is death. Life is growing, changing, moving, becoming different. Staying the same, being in your comfort zone, not wanting to grow, trying to force everything to be the same is death. And so what do people do when they want to go on vacation? They want to go on vacation to the beach. What do you do at the beach? You go to the beach, you find a nice area for you to lie down on your reclining chair. You put up umbrella in the shade. Beautiful weather, just perfect, so you don't feel hot, you don't feel cold, you feel the breeze. You have a beautiful drink to sip with the straw, and you're drinking it, and you're completely comfortable. You taste something good, there's fresh air, and you want to fall asleep. Total comfort, the closer you get to comfort. But if you fall asleep, you're going to miss the whole vacation. So you can't fall asleep. It's the closest to death that you could get without missing your vacation. That's what people do. That's what the body wants. And don't make a mistake. Sometimes we need to rest so we could go further. But if that becomes your goal, then you can never be happy, because then you don't grow. And you become miserable. Look at today's society. We have more wealth and abundance and blessings than any time in human history. But at the same time, there's more divorce, there's more unhappiness, there's so many psychologists, so many problems, all these pills for all different kinds of depressions and this. Why? Because we're not living properly. We're not living properly. We're following the ego. We're following the body to be comfortable. That everything should come to us the easy way. And if that's how you live life, then you're in trouble, because you can't control the physical reality of your life. It's not in your control. And you could work hard to make money. And why do people work hard to make money? Because you think you could buy happiness. You could buy whatever you need. You could buy the bigger toy. You could buy this. So you work hard, so you shouldn't have to work hard. It's also craziness. You go into this rat race. You're the rat. You're working hard so you don't have to work. It's absolute craziness. You want everything to come easy to you. With money you could buy everything. But it can't make you happy. Because really all you could buy is comfort, nothing else. You can't buy happiness, but that's not where happiness is. So one has to understand that the physical pleasures are really comforts, and they can't really make us happy. And the way they do make us happy is if we use them to get close to Hashem, like I explained, to see how much beautiful nature is, to enjoy Shabbat, to be with the family, and all these things gets us close to Hashem. But you have to have the right focus. But if it's to fill up your ta'avot, to just become and make your ego bigger, you can't become happy. It never works. It's a trap. And that's where the struggle is for growth. Are we going to go for comfort? We're going to take the easy way out? Or are we going to toil and grow as a person? That's where the spiritual pleasures are. So why don't people go for the spiritual pleasures? Because it's work. And it's easier, even though the pleasures are much greater. It's easier to fall and be like the dirt, be like the ground, and not move. And not do anything. And just stay flat. It's much easier. So, we have to understand that the physical pleasures are a stepping stone for higher pleasures. We use it as a stepping stone for higher pleasures. When the body has what it needs, it really only needs the minimum. It doesn't need more. And you could use it l'shem shamayim, and you have to be careful that it shouldn't be your goal. It shouldn't be what overwhelms you. Because if you do, then you can't really grow, you can't be happy, you're choosing the easy way out. And also, it's not in your control. Anything could happen outside of you. So to enjoy life to the maximum, we have to turn to the spiritual pleasures. And That I will explain in the next class.